Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am the Crypto Crow, and I'm not going to make a real long thing of this particular segment, but I wanted to let everybody know that for any of you guys that are touched by the story recently of my dear friend Mojo Horn, who recently passed away over this past weekend, there is a GoFundMe. You will find a link directly in the description of this video. If you're anonymously interested in helping to support his stepson ultimately and his girlfriend, who, you know, I don't necessarily know that Mojo was the marrying type, but I'm pretty sure if anybody was going to be it was going to be this gal. And I'm pretty sure, I thought he secretly adopted her son. And they say stepson, but I'm pretty sure Mojo adopted this boy. And there is a GoFundMe to try and help with, obviously, funeral expenses. And one of Mojo's biggest things was that his stepson, Orion, learned jiu-jitsu and stayed with it and goes to college and all the things that Mojo didn't do. And so ultimately, this is a GoFundMe. You can donate anonymously. Shit. Okay, I got to get off of this because I don't want to be super emotional, but if you want to help, the link's in the description. Really greatly appreciate it. Let's show these guys in the crypto communities willing to help out, even people they don't know. It'd mean a lot to me, and I'll know if this video drives up a bunch of donations because I've been paying attention to what's been happening, and I'll know that this video sent a spike of support. So show me that you guys are loud and proud. I'd appreciate it. Now, as we move forward, I thought I wanted to cover this a little bit because this was actually pretty interesting. OMG Network pumps and dumps post-acquisition. Now, this is actually pretty big news. Genesis Block Ventures announced the acquisition of the OMG Network, causing mass sell-offs. Hold on, I'm going to take a second. Okay. Key takeaways of this: OMG's price jumped by nearly 20% within minutes after it announced its acquisition. As some investors decided to sell the news, prices crashed to the same point they were before the news dropped. Now the token sits between two major supply walls without providing a clear path for where it's going next. Crypto investors may have acted too soon on the news of OMG's acquisition. This is a big reason why I buy and hold. I just don't play these silly swings on news because it's just breathe. Yeah. Still a little rough, not gonna lie. It's still kind of fresh. So on December 4th, Genesis Block Ventures announced the acquisition of the OMG network. The investment management firm aims to enhance the use of blockchain technology throughout Asia, where OMG has a strong presence. Through this acquisition, GBV is dedicated to leverage its network strength to promote the accelerated growth of the OMG network and further enhance the adoption of OMG blockchain in Asia and beyond. So basically what happened is this group, they basically bought OMG's network to expand on it and further it throughout Asia. News broke, a bunch of people bought up, and then all of the people that have been holding it tried to sell into the FOMO, and then that turned right around and dropped the price back to where it was before the press release. So counterproductive, folks. If you believe in the project, buy it and hold it, and all will come. That's my personal philosophy, and maybe that's completely flawed when it comes to some crypto projects, but we'll learn. Now, the new KYC rules may arrive before Trump leaves office. That's assuming he does. Fortunately, those regulations may not be as strict as originally expected. Now, the one thing that I'm noticing when it comes to the election, and when it comes to like Biden versus Trump and this and that, it seems like there's been a lot of stuff basically painting Trump as like, you know, hating crypto, down with Bitcoin, all of that fun stuff. But then somehow the Democratic Party and Biden and everybody are somehow pro crypto. And I'm curious I keep seeing all these comments and tweets and memes and things like that about Biden and how, I understand, he's appointing some potentially pro crypto people. And I get some of that, but for some odd reason, something about it just feels like pandering to me. It just kind of feels like, we'll see. We'll see. Some big things are happening, which I'm going to cover. But being pro crypto to some degree to me could just mean, yeah, we want all the banks to have their own, their own stable tokens. And that's it. Like, everything else can go straight to hell. And I don't know. Like, this all needs to pan out, but we'll find out here. The blockchain industry is waiting on regulations that will soon be announced by the U.S. Treasury. Acting Comptroller Brian Brooks stated in a CNBC interview that the new regulations will not harm Bitcoin. Brooks suggested that the Treasury will announce good news for the crypto industry by the end of Trump's term. This is the kind of shit that I'm seeing. It's like every possible way anybody can screw Trump, they're doing it. Any way they can make him look bad, whether it's truth or lies or bent truths or manipulation or whatever it is. And I'm just so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. I don't care if Trump's an asshole. I don't care if he's a pompous, egomaniacal jerk off. I don't care. Why is everybody... I know why everybody's trying to get rid of him. I know why. But it's so blatantly opaque and obvious that it's truly driving me nuts. Like, everything you see, everywhere you look, is somehow trying to tear this person down. And when I look at what he's accomplished, I have to wonder, what is the real agenda here? I'm just going to leave it at that. When I see all this stuff, it just makes me want to get the hell out. It really does, because I'm telling you, my gut is telling me what's coming, and it's not pretty, folks. It's not pretty. And I hate to say it, but so many of you guys out there are truly brainwashed into believing so much of this garbage. And I get it. We're all busy. We all have lives, and we take quick glances at what's going on, and it's easier to just accept what we're being spoon-fed than to peel back that onion and look a little deeper into the truth. And, I even see like some of the comments. It's like, really? Look, just look. That's the thing. So many of you fail to look. You say, what accomplishments? What's he done? All I know is what CNN's told me, and that's about nothing. And it's like, listen, I'm not even a political person. But if you can't see what's right in front of your face constantly, I don't know if there's been anybody more hated or wanted out of office than Kennedy. I mean, Kennedy was somebody that everybody wanted dead. Kennedy is somebody that everybody wanted to get rid of for one reason or another. Look it up. And I know that some of you can't compare Trump to Kennedy. Maybe not. But what I know is there are a hell of a lot more people in the system that want to get rid of him for not playing ball than there are that support him. And it's blatantly obvious because everywhere you look, it's just insane. So anyway, I'm hoping that some of the stuff that's happening is absolutely and actually beneficial to the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin's safe for now. Last week, rumors circulated on social media concerning the U.S. Treasury's plans to implement new regulations. Those rules supposedly would force exchanges to collect know your customer information for users' private wallets. Currently, exchanges only collect that information only for exchange-based wallets. So basically what they're saying is that the Treasury is ultimately wanting to, like, if you're going to export crypto from an exchange to like a MyEther wallet or a Ledger Nano or whatever, they basically want exchanges to enforce, okay, you can do that, but we want to know what your wallet is. And so, and they're going to say, okay, this is an external custody wallet that's owned by Crypto Crow. Well, then we want you to prove that. so that ultimately they build a database of all of these wallet addresses so that anytime somebody sends something from one person to another, they know where it's going. It's easier for them to follow the money. Ultimately, they want to get rid of anything anonymous on the blockchain. I mean, that's ultimately what's happening here. And to some degree, I understand it. And while so many of us out there are going to be like, no, they can't do that. That's totally against the natural rule of crypto, is like, screw the government, screw this person, screw that person. But the people that have been hacked, the people who, you know, like me, I'm constantly fearful. I go so crazy when it comes to security anymore that like half my life is just like, if I want to access something, I damn near have to take hair fibers and put it in something I have to do all kinds of different stuff to unlock things just so that I can get into it, because I'm so fearful. Because I know that if somebody were to somehow hack something and actually get something, I mean, listen, when I was hacked and somebody had access to my primary machine for like all overnight, they weren't able to get anything because of the way I had things locked up. And that was before I was paranoid as hell. Okay, so but it's like I go crazy. I literally go crazy because I'm thinking, if somebody were able to like somehow walk away with something, there's no getting that back. There's no reference. You don't know who they are or where it's going. And now, granted, the thing of it is that even if this kind of regulation does get enforced and all like law-abiding citizens of any given country are in fact performing all of this KYC and saying, here's my wallet, what scares me to some degree about that is that the criminals aren't going to do that. The criminals have an abundance of tools, and this is a part of where I draw a line. This is because I see what's happening, and it typically feels like all of the regulation, all of the restrictions, all of the crap that we have to go through are in the name of preventing criminal activity or bad actors. But the thing of it is it's like gun ownership. Let's just say in the United States, it was illegal to own a gun. Do you think that's going to stop criminals from owning guns? Absolutely not. That's just basically stripping citizens of the power to protect themselves against those that are not following the law. And so when I see these regulations, I think, okay, I understand the motive, and I understand that will help catch some people doing some things, but most criminals, especially in this arena, are not stupid people. They're not stupid people, and this isn't going to slow anybody down from any criminal activity. And if you think it is, you're absolutely crazy. So, you know, I do have YubiKeys, actually. I use so much. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong was one of the first to raise concerns over the regulations. He wrote last week that the additional friction would kill many of the emerging use cases for crypto. Now, Brian Brooks, the acting comptroller of the currency, has clarified that the U.S. Treasury's upcoming regulations will do little damage to crypto, and that the Treasury will ensure no harm is caused to Bitcoin in enforcing any regulation. To Bitcoin. That doesn't say anything about the altcoin market. That's what's scary. We are very focused on getting this right. We're very focused on not killing this, Brian Brooks told CNBC. We'll see. New regulations rolling out for 2021. Brooks added that the Treasury will announce regulations in the next 6 to 8 weeks. One of the regulations, he said, pertains to whether banks could connect directly to public blockchains. I think you're going to see, listen, this is another example. I think you're going to see a lot of good news for crypto by the end of the Trump term. Almost like what we're waiting for Trump to get out of office so that we can, it's like what, so when the cat's away, the mice will play. Is that where we're at with this thing now? Is that the kind of narrative that we're trying to push? Some is going to have to do with banks connecting to blockchains. Some of it is going to be more clarity around the nature of these assets. And this is all honestly this is assuming that things go the way everybody is being brainwashed to believe it's going to. In terms of getting Trump out and getting Biden, the guy who doesn't even know his own name, in. Like, that scares me. Does that not worry anybody? How does somebody who has like a consistent stream of memes and videos of him basically losing himself in a sentence, how does that person get more votes than Obama did? And how are we truly expected to believe that? A guy that's been running around smelling the hair of anyone who will let him. How does, and here's the thing, I'm so not, this to me is not about a Trump or Biden thing. This is about what is really going on to put these people in positions of power and why. Don't you get it? So many people are so caught up in the rhetoric and the bullshit that's being constantly forced down our throats, and then we buy it. We buy into it and we believe in it so wholeheartedly that we then run around the internet and just start bashing everybody that says anything outside of what we are programmed to believe and think. You are a sheep if you are that way. You have got to learn to look deeper than what's really being presented right in front of you. And it really is scaring the shit out of me, and it has been for quite some time, that so many people are truly that naive. According to Brooks, clear regulations are important for institutional investors. This is true. And this is true because institutions have the same fears that me and many other people do in the crypto space. So it makes sense that with these new regulations, here's the thing. At last, the SEC has launched a crypto regulation desk. So apparently they have, so the SEC announced on December 3rd that FinHub, the strategic hub for innovation and financial technology, will become a standalone office. So great. So it looks like the SEC, they're basically creating a new regulation desk that's specific to cryptocurrencies, and then hopes that, hey, they're going to start defining some more clearly defined regulations in the cryptocurrency space, which will actually, in fact, bring a lot more institutional adoption into the cryptocurrency space. Here's the thing. A lot of institutions, major funds with billions and billions of dollars, a lot of these big institutions are fearful of investing in some of this stuff because with it being unregulated, there could be potentially some liability, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how a lot of that stuff works. But if we get more regulation, then that stuff will undoubtedly become a larger part of the framework for a lot of major institutions. So that just means more adoption. That means more growth, more speculation, more of everything, which is, it could be a really good thing. Listen, folks, I am a huge proponent, obviously, of the cryptocurrency movement. Like I always call it, this era of disruption. It's going to be very, very regulated, like any other financial market. It's going to be, and it's there are going to be a lot of things that happen that people don't like, and at the same time, some of those people are going to try and revert to things like Monero and other like privacy chains, but I don't think those are going to work out too well either. And I think that there's going to be a time where we have to compromise to some degree, because in order for mass adoption to truly occur, the governments of the countries abroad are going to have to find ways to adopt this technology as well. That's all there is to it. We are not going to find mass adoption of the general public without proper regulation of the space. It's not going to happen. So all of these big moon boy ideas that we have about Bitcoin hitting $1 million, that is only going to happen when we have proper regulation and proper financial support within the various institutions across the globe. That's not going to come under the radar, underground. That's not how this is going to happen. So this increased regulation is actually a good thing. It really is a good thing. What could be a potential bad thing is how the regulation affects the space and what those regulations are. If they're just boneheaded regulations for the sake of trying to suppress the technology, that's a whole other ballgame. They're saying that's not going to be the case. We're very well aware. And here's the thing. If that were going to happen, I personally would think if they were going to do this and try and just ruin the crypto economy with all of these different people that absolutely hate Trump and want him gone, they would have just stomped it down while Trump was in office and blamed it all on him. They already started trying to do that. Back when the market turned, all the stuff that was coming out about Trump basically making the order to, stomp Bitcoin and then launch the futures market so everybody would short the hell out of it and this and that. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So if the SEC or any of these groups truly had it out for the cryptocurrency market, they already would have just wiped the slate. They would have shaken the shit out of it all like an Etch-a-Sketch and blamed it all on Trump, so that all of us crypto holders would be sitting around in squalor swearing Trump's demise. That hasn't happened. So that's the one true hope that I have for the regulations that are coming moving forward. I believe that there will be a happy medium. So that being said, Cardano is currently, this is ADA pools, and this is a pretty solid lot of information here. Now, where are my numbers here? Here we go. Live stake is at 20.23 billion ADA. 63.7% of the total circulating supply of Cardano is currently being delegated to staking nodes for rewards. Do you have any idea how big that is, folks? And not only that, but like currently trading at a price of about 15 cents. With everything that's coming about over the course of like December and January, I'm telling you, as things continue to move forward, there's a part of me that starts to wonder whether or not $5 by the peak of the market is going to look like nothing. What is truly possible? Now, what I'm actually working on is I'm going to be doing a bunch of calculations here soon. I might try and do them over the weekend and have a really fun Monday video about Cardano. I might do that. I actually want to enlist the help of Benjamin Cohen, who, you know, I've like, back when he had like 3,000 subscribers, I was telling you guys about this guy because I just happened across him browsing around YouTube, and I've talked about him a few times. I've talked with him several times. I pulled him into this influencer group, and he's been growing substantially ever since. I'm not taking credit for it. His content is just that good, and I knew he was going to really start hitting a stride at one point. And I'm trying to enlist his mathematical skills to help me with something. But there's I have some ideas in my head, and I would really like somebody who's just brilliant at math to help me, what I don't know what the term is, extrapolate the potential use case and adoption for Cardano as it relates to what's currently available in the circulating supply, calculated against the previous open circulating supply, its original all-time high of $1.33, and where I believe that price may ultimately go as rewards are being adopted and earned through staking, yada, 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 yada. There's a lot to it, but I really do want to do a big fun Cardano prediction video, but I want it to be very, very, very detailed and be able to explain why, to give people the right idea. But I'm telling you, over the next couple months, I think Cardano is really going to start hitting its stride. So if you're already in, which I assume there's 365 of you on right now, I know I didn't title this video anything super clickbaity, so I don't have 600 or 700 people in here right now, but hopefully this video does mean a lot and helps a lot of you guys understand the market and where we're going. IOHK is planning a smooth upgrade path to Goguen. And upcoming Cardano hard fork to introduce token locking ahead of Goguen. IOHK, the development arm behind Cardano, recently announced a new hard fork of the protocol scheduled for mid-December. Kevin Hammond, the software engineer at IOHK, revealed this week that Cardano will undergo a hard fork later this month as part of its transition to the Goguen development era. Although most observers associate hard forks with trauma, Hammond said that these events are handled much differently, and they are. These hard forks mean you don't have to do anything. Cardano hard forks aren't like, when Bitcoin hard forks into Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin or something else, where it's basically a group that says, we can do this better. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to take the open source code, and then we're going to hard fork the blockchain and change the rules and this and that. That's not what Cardano hard forks are, just so you understand. Cardano handles hard forks automatically without stopping block production. This gives a uniquely smooth upgrade process that allows new features to be introduced easily and evolve the platform's capabilities. It's a beautiful thing. This hard fork is designed to introduce new efficiencies to the Cardano network and enable the token locking feature, which records how a token is being utilized on the ledger. Hammond explained, locking in this case means reserving a certain number of tokens for a specified period of time so they cannot be disposed of to gain a benefit, such as voting or running a smart contract. Hammond says Cardano will soon enable integration of other custom tokens into the blockchain that can be used alongside ADA, its native cryptocurrency. Did you see this? Are you getting this? Is this starting to resonate at all? Hammond says Cardano will soon enable integration of other custom tokens into the blockchain that can be used alongside ADA, its native cryptocurrency. And then it just goes into some of the history. Yeah, looking at Stockton Flow, we're still on par. I'm not too worried. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick on a weekly, because so far my layout here on the weekly candles still kind of happen for the most part. And I was looking back in history to find some other pumps and dumps in the market based off of approximately where we're at, and there wasn't a whole there's not a whole lot to go on. If you look here, this is December of 2016, which is about, like, if we're trying to compare points of halving against the potential bull run of the market, I mean, we're just starting out here. If you look December 5th, which is about where we're at, what happened here? Got a very similar kind of a doji candle on because we were up and then we kind of flattened out, which is about what we're doing here. And then boom, December 12th, December 19th, all of that. Look at that. Just that price action right there, just through the month of December, it was pretty solid. Let's just say if we went from the bottom of that up to here, that's up 42, about 47% throughout the month of December before we saw a January dump. Okay, and then this was in March. This was a 37% dump. Then from here, we had a dump from the start of January. Again, this was after a pretty significant pump. So listen, I mean, we're going to get some volatility. Because a lot of this stuff is playing out right now, very similar to, I mean, that was a wick. And we dropped 33%. We dropped 33% in January of 2017. So once we started the new year, all of these big December gains that we got heading into Christmas, we cashed out. A lot of people took some profit for the new year, likely to kind of recover, because what happens is people are spending money. Yay, Christmas. People are buying Bitcoin as Christmas gifts, perhaps, and then that drives up the price, and then people start taking profit in January to start off the new year. So this is likely what we may very well be looking at this year as well. We'll just have to wait and see. What I do know is that volume is high, everything is doing pretty well, and you know, we'll just have to see how this plays out. But on that note, guys, I just wanted to say hello, let you guys know what's going on, and yeah, just open your eyes, folks. Open your eyes. Don't let major news media force feed you with a bunch of garbage, because that's all I'm seeing. You know, it is what it is. Just be careful. Use your noggins. Use your noodles. Dive in a little deeper than what is readily available to the public, because honest to God, a lot of the people in power, they are only able to do a lot of what they're able to do because so many people choose not to pay attention, because everything is just easier the more ignorant you are. Ignorance is bliss, hence. So on that note, guys, enjoy your weekend. I love you. I miss you. I mean it. Don't forget, at the beginning of this video, click the link in the description. It's the very first link. If you can afford it, if you're already making significant gains in the crypto world, and I've made you some money in any way over the last 3 years, maybe donate a little bit of that to my late friend Mojo Horn and his family. Help his boy continue on in jiu-jitsu and get to college. I'd really be appreciative of that. And I will be updating this on Monday to see how that campaign went. So I'll talk to you soon. Crow your coins. Enjoy your weekend. Drive and drink safely. Social distance and all that fun stuff. And yes, folks, you should wear your mask. If for any other reason than the mental well-being of those who are absolutely losing their minds about the pandemic. Okay, just be respectful. Till next time, guys, crow your coins. I'll see